In your book, you will see an experiment related to the number of stomata present in the leaf. Now you know that the leaf has two surfaces, the upper surface and the lower surface. So what in this experiment, what is done? There are cobalt chloride paper fixed on the two surfaces of the leaves, upper surface of the leaf and the lower surface of the leaf. The original color of the cobalt chloride paper is blue, and after this experiment a conclusion is drawn that the upper surface of the leaf remains same in color when the cobalt chloride paper does not change its color and it is same, and the lower surface, it turns pink in color. The cobalt chloride paper which was present on the lower surface of the leaf, it turns pink in color. This shows that from this above experiment we can conclude that the lower surface of the leaf contains more number of stomata than the upper surface of the leaf, and the upper surface of the leaf, it is having lower number of stomata, and this experiment shows that more transpiration occurs from the lower surface of the leaf, which is due to more number of the stomata in the lower surface than on the upper surface. Another experiment, you will see such a setup in your book. This experiment is known as a potometer method, and this device is known as a potometer. Now potometer is a device which measures the rate of water intake by the plant, which is almost equal to the water lost by the transpiration. Now in this experimental setup, what is done? A potometer is kept and a beaker containing colored water is kept over here, and a scale is taken, and here a reservoir is kept on which water is poured, and a oil is poured over it so that there is no loss of water through the evaporation. In another one, there is a leafy shoot present, given here, without roots. After some time, we will see the air bubble is moving. In this, the potometer is raised little bit from here, and an air bubble is introduced into this. The air bubble is introduced inside this by lifting this potometer a little up, and you will find that air bubble is moving. Now this shows how much water is taken up by this leafy shoot. The potometer measures how much water is taken in by this plant leafy shoot, and that will be equal to the rate of the transpiration. So that was all about the transpiration related experiments. Now we'll talk about the internal factors, or the factors affecting the transpiration. Two types of factors are affecting on the rate of transpiration. First factor is internal factor, we'll discuss, and later on we'll discuss the external factors. According to the internal factors, it's given 4. First, number of leaves. More leaves or spines or other photosynthesizing organs means bigger the surface area, the more stomata for the gaseous exchange. Thus, this will result in greater water loss. That means if there is more number of leaves in a plant, then the transpiration will also be more. Second number is number of stomata. The more number of stomata, the more will be the transpiration. Then size of leaf. If the leaf is having a bigger surface area, then the transpiration will be faster than the leaf which is having a smaller surface area. So the more number of size the bigger the size of the leaf, the more will be the transpiration. Another one is presence of plant cuticle. The waxy cuticle, now on the top layer of the leaf there is a waxy cuticle present which is impermeable to the water and water vapor, so it reduces the rate of transpiration from the plant surface. So these were all internal factors. Now we'll discuss about the external factors. First is intensity of sunlight. With the increase of intensity of sunlight, the rate of transpiration increases. The more the sunlight, the more will be the transpiration. The next is temperature. If there is increase in temperature, the rate of transpiration will also increase. So these all are the external factors. Then velocity of wind. Transpiration increases with rapid or active air movement. That means more will the velocity of wind, the more will be the transpiration. Next is humidity. If the air is humid, the rate of transpiration is reduced. Now humid means the percentage of water. If there is more percentage of water in the air, the rate of transpiration is reduced. Next is carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide, the increase in CO2 level in the atmosphere over the normal causes stomatal closure. So that means there will be decrease in the rate of transpiration. Next is atmospheric pressure. With the decrease in the atmospheric pressure, the rate of transpiration increases. So it is just inversely proportional, or we can say just the opposite. If there is decrease in atmospheric pressure, the transpiration will increase. So these were the major factors, external factors affecting the rate of transpiration. Now let us see what are the adaptations in plant to control excessive transpiration. If there is excessive transpiration, the plant may die. So let us see what are the adaptations in plant to control excessive transpiration. Plants which grow in dry climate have evolved varieties of adaptation to control this transpiration. The leaves you have seen of cactus, or which is also known as opuntia, they are needle in shape. They are modified to spines. Some of the leaves in the summer season also you will see that they may be folded up or rolled up due to excessive transpiration. The number of stomata is reduced, or they can be present as sunken stomata, means the stomata which are present very inside in the deeper layer of the epidermis, and they are sunken in the pits. A thick waxy cuticle develops on the leaves. This is, you will see in banyan tree or in any evergreen leaves, you will see a thick cuticle is present which helps to reduce the transpiration. I'll talk about anti-transparent also. Anti-transparents, this are also applied to the plant's leaves to control the transpiration. See, these are the compounds which are applied to the leaves of the plant to reduce the transpiration. They are used on Christmas trees. Christmas trees you know all, and on cut flowers, then newly transplanted shrubs, etc. to prevent their drying out. They also protect the leaves from salt burn and fungal diseases. You can see here two plants, when treated with anti-transparent, how nicely they are growing, and the another one which has wilted due to transpiration. Now let us see the significance of transpiration. Evaporation reduces the temperature of the leaf surfaces. That is, transpiration helps to cool the plant body. It gives a cooling effect, and second, it draws up more water through the stem, which causes the root to absorb more and more water. That is, it helps in the water absorption. You have learnt in the previous chapter in the absorption of root that plants, due to transpirational pull, they absorb a lot of water. then the higher will be the rate of transpiration, the greater will be the rate of absorption of the water and solutes in the soil. So this were the significance. More significance are given in your book. Two significance are given already, so you learned that one. Now let us see the difference between the transpiration and evaporation. Transpiration is mainly the loss of water, from the aerial parts of the plant, while evaporation is the loss of water from the surface of the water bodies, and it is a very fast process while transpiration is a very slow process. So this was all about the difference between transpiration and evaporation. You can see and refer your book. Then we'll talk about the guttation. Now guttation is basically, you will see that some in the morning or sometime morning or evening, you will see certain tiny drops of water along the margins of the leaves. Just generally you will see in the garden uh, plants, and you will see on the tips of the leaves also some water appears as a tiny droplets. This is a loss of excessive water and it's known as a guttation. It takes place through a special pores called as hydrathodes. The next is bleeding. Bleeding is a loss of water when it is cut, and it is the cell sap oozes out of the cut stem. Difference between transpiration and guttation is also given. The major difference is transpiration is a loss of water in the form of water vapor, while guttation is a loss of water in the form of droplets. And transpiration occurs through stomata, lenticels and cuticle, you know this already. And guttation occurs only through the hydrathodes. Hydrathodes are special pores which are found on the margins of the leaves. So this was all about the transpiration. So this is basically the transpiration cycle. Water is absorbed through the roots and it passes through the xylem to the tree trunk, and it is getting evaporated from the surface of the aerial parts. So this was all about the transpiration. Read your books properly, you will get to understand the things.